Welcome to another Wednesday unboxing podcast. This is the unboxing podcast show where we unbox the podcast.
And my podcast.
And
My podcast.
And I am Jacob Klag, and this is Two Dudes Making a Podcast. This guy's name is Alex O'Connor. He forgot to do the thing, but we are in the middle of the song now, so it's kind of cool. We're singing along. Saved it. Wonderful. So I'm walking in the grocery store today. Just getting my normal. I got to get some coffee, and I had to get cat litter. Those are the two things.
What kind of coffee?
All right. Just Folgers Classic. Big thing of Folgers Classic. Hold on. It's not that interesting, but it's a big thing of Folgers Classic. Always the biggest tub that they got.
Yeah.
And
the tub that's in everybody's cabinet.
And then Cafe Bustelo.
Bustelo.
Espresso ground coffee.
Espresso.
And I do one big thing, one big scoop of Classic and 2 scoops of espresso, and that's how I make my pot of coffee. All right? But the cat litter is just cheap cat litter. I was instructed to get cheap cat litter.
Cheap cat litter.
I was like, okay, I won't make any decisions on the cat litter. I'll just look at the price, and then everybody ought to be.
Cat litter.
I personally like World's Best, but all my cats are dead, so it's not my decision to make.
Who am I to say?
Exactly. So I'm walking through the ails, and you're
Every
doing your
cat
regular
does.
more. Like I just come from the gym, and I'm getting those 2 things, and I'm just walking with the purpose of getting through the grocery store. Everybody looks kind of miserable because it's early, and as I came out of the cat litter aisle with everything that I come there for, some lady just goes, "Why's the fucking bread in aisle 15?" and carried on behind me, and that was so jarring.
She's got a point.
Exactly. That's what I thought. And I was like, what set her off
I already
on
know.
that being the last that, like, because that's such an obscure thing to be upset by. That is clearly a series of items up to that moment of breakage.
Oh, yeah. Before you go on, did you get a look at her?
No, not at all.
No,
I just heard her voice, and it was like, it's like somebody who's hungover from all of the binge drinking they've been doing.
Because I just wanted to know whether she had a cart or not.
They did. They had a cart. I heard the cart.
Okay.
I heard that rolling.
Because there could have been 2 ways. It could have been the person that needs to run in for only bread. And where the fuck is it? Because I don't want to be here.
Maybe.
Or it was the person who had a list and missed the bread aisle and now has to go back through every aisle again to remember where the fuck the bread is because they missed it.
Okay. I used to
probably that second one.
I used to grab a basket, and I would buy.
Yeah.
I had down to a science where you buy exactly the amount of stuff that ends up fitting in this basket, and then it ends up lasting me this period of time and whatever. And it always worked out. Okay. But now I'm buying
the basket method.
But now I'm buying meat for 2 grown men.
I'm buying meat for 2.
For 2 grown men. Okay.
My name
is
is Jacob Klag, and I'm buying meat for 2.
And I was like, I'll do the basket method. It's like, no.
Now you need 2 baskets.
I'm carrying around like 40 pounds
You now
of
need
meat.
2 baskets. You got to get them under the arms.
No, so now I get a grocery cart.
Yeah.
But I don't get
Like a fucking human.
But I don't get the full-size grocery cart.
Oh my God.
I get the
You
little
get
one.
the tiny one.
I
Is
get
it
the
the
tiny
double
one.
basket?
It is.
Oh, good. I like
I
the
get the
double
little
basket.
guy, but I'm too tall for it, so I'm like pushing it around, and it makes my ass jut out.
Because you're holding it like this.
Yes. So I'm going from aisle to aisle. Just like we got a toe step thing going on, and it's driving me nuts because it's a perfectly adequately sized basket for the kind of shopping that I'm doing now.
Yes.
I don't need the full size basket, but I'm torn between the full size basket that's definitely overkill, but makes it so at least when I'm walking, I walk normal versus this dainty step where my fucking ass is just sticking out like that. And I know it's happening. And I know how I look.
You were walking
I
like
become
that
way
kid that
too
you
aware.
picked on in 5th grade.
There's actually a thing called toe walking. It's like it's a gait.
Yeah.
It's an actual gait that some people develop.
More of your feet.
And they end up just learning that way of walking, I guess, or something's wrong with the spine. But that's some medical shit that I'm not versed enough to be able to talk about.
I don't know if this is what toe walking is, but I do know if you walk on the balls of your feet instead of the heels, like so instead of heel toe, you actually
they're doing
it's
toe-toe.
supposed to be better. for you. I don't know if that's the
Why
same thing, but I know it's supposed to be better to actually.
I saw something about like medieval walking. There was like this whole
medieval walking.
There was like a whole article about walking toe to heel.
Yeah,
which I know you can't see because
which hurts. It's like weird.
It's like waist up.
Think
here.
about it.
Yeah, toe to heel. But like, imagine trying to have like a. That's where they got the term prancing about from. Is
probably.
I mean, because how else
from
are you
medieval walking?
Yeah,
yeah.
That's why they started walking with heels.
I mean, I guess when you march, you do that. You know what I mean?
I suppose that you do.
Yeah.
All right.
So I don't know.
No. When you march in place, you do. But when you actually get to marching, it's pretty heavily heel toe.
Not if you're raising your knees up. I feel.
All right.
You know what I mean? I think it depends.
All right, you make a fair point.
If you're in a marching band, you're going toe heel.
Marching band.
You know what I'm talking about. I don't know. I've never in marching band. I have no idea.
So, off this little list here. All right.
The lady at the grocery store.
Oh, you got more to continue on with that.
I'm just more curious.
All right, cool.
I just want to know because I've been there.
You've been that upset at the grocery store.
Yes, but it's always when so me and Katie, we usually divide our chores. Katie's the one who makes the grocery list. I'm the one who gets the groceries.
It's because you're faster at the grocery store.
Yes, but I also...
Is she impulsive?
No.
Okay, good.
She's not, but I am better around people than she is.
Fair.
That doesn't mean I'm great around people. It just means I'm better because I will just fucking put some earbuds in and listen to a podcast and I don't give a shit. I'm just.
Does she get anxious at the grocery store?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And I just get mad at people. Yeah.
Why are you blocking the whole lane? Why are you blocking the whole lane?
Why are you blocking the whole lane?
Why is your grocery cart on the
left?
left?
You left your cart on the right side, and now you're standing not exactly on the left side to look at the ketchup.
Why do you also seem completely inconsiderate of your own existence?
It sucks. I hate you. Anyway, but it's always and this is my fault. If you get a grocery list that you didn't make, you should give it a once over before you leave.
That way you can plan your method of attack.
Yes, but also notice if there's anything weird on there that you're not quite sure where it is. Like, I don't know where the bottle of ground up chickpeas would be.
Bottle? Bottle?
Bottle.
As in bottled chickpeas?
Ground up chickpeas. It's got a different name.
But it squeezes out?
No, it's more like a jelly, type.
It's a jelly.
It's not a jelly, but
I mean
the jar.
Chickpea jelly?
It's a jar, not a bottle.
Is it a breakfast item?
No. But if you're making your own hummus or whatever, there's a different word for it. It's not called ground up chickpeas.
If you're making your own hummus, you buy the chickpeas and you mash them yourself.
Yeah. Look.
All right.
This is what I'm saying.
Okay.
I'm just saying something like that appears, and you're now in aisle 11. And you don't know, wait, do I go to the vegetable aisle with like the canned beans? Do I go to the Asian aisle with weird food? Do I go, is this in baking? And you're halfway across the store by this point, and now you got to be like, do I turn around now, or do I get the rest of everything else and then go back through? Tell me. This happens to be all the fucking time.
All I know is that basket method stopped because of Hershey's chocolate syrup.
Because
the basket method gets heavy, but usually it creates
you're quick.
Haste.
Yes, correct.
It creates haste amongst. So you've got a heavy. Well, at this point, it's getting heavier. You're passing it from arm to arm. You're getting. It feels good. You're kind of getting an extra workout in. Ooh, you get to feed that that fucking stupid brain of yours that can't stop thinking about itself, and you get to. Anyways,
crab rangoon.
So you get, you do it in a certain order. You're like produce, it's pretty light. Then you get to the frozen vegetables, and then the meat section because the meat's the heaviest thing. And you load up with meat, and it's like now you race. It's like Nickelodeon kids where they get to go through Toys R Us and they go as fast as they can and get as much shit into a grocery cart as they can. By the end of it,
you could just use supermarket sweep because you're at the grocery store.
Yeah. No, so
that's real adults. But
but so I stopped doing the basket because I was asked to get Hershey's chocolate syrup, which I thought was going to be in one location. like the ice cream place? You know, where all the ice out cream is?
Nope.
No, it wasn't.
It's in the baking section.
And nobody knew where it was. And it wasn't in the baking section.
It wasn't in the baking
It wasn't in the baking section. I don't know where it was because at
Probably
this point,
the peanut butter and jelly section.
it wasn't there either. It might as well have been in a black hole for all I remember.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Like, there's shit like...
You ask somebody and they angrily tell you it's in a location. You go, well, I tried there, but I'll try again. And you go back and you go ahead and it's not fucking there. And you ask another person and they finally know. But you're asking a guy who's stocking ice cream. And you're like, this guy, he's a master at ice cream stocking. He's going to know where the Hershey's chocolate syrup is.
He must get asked this question all the time.
Well, my pits are loading up with sweat like crazy. I can smell myself tossing a basket from arm to arm. It's so exhausting.
It's heavy.
And then you finally find the chocolate syrup, and you have to carry it alone in one hand while the basket's in the other because you ran out of space for things to shove.
In the
yeah, because it's going to slide off the top of stuff because you didn't plan far enough ahead.
It's just going to hit the ground and explode.
That's why I carry on the basket now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's why I don't carry on the basket anymore.
I understand. But it's why you got ass walk. I'm just saying it happens to me all the time where I'm like, I don't know where this fucking thing is. And I have no idea, and I'm not asking.
You're not asking?
I'm not asking.
I ask people all the time.
I'm never asking.
Do you just refuse to ask people at the grocery store?
Or
any store, anything?
Unless it comes to a problem.
What do you mean?
Like where it's just like where I'm about to lose my mind.
Okay.
Then I ask. Other places I ask. For some reason, the grocery store, no, fuck you.
I ask people things at the grocery store all the time because fuck them.
No, I understand. You're right.
You're here for this.
I'm just saying that I won't ask. Because I know the people who work there. Like, I don't know them, but I know them. They don't fucking know.
They don't know things.
They don't fucking know.
No, don't ask the cashier.
No. Why are the breadcrumbs in the frozen section?
What? Are they?
Yes.
Why?
Why?
I want to know too.
Makes no sense. Put it with the baking shit.
That's what. Wait.
Why?
Because you would bake chicken with breadcrumbs.
Yes. It's a material you use in baking. There's a baking section. It says baking. Why are you in the frozen section? It doesn't make any damn sense.
Are they frozen?
No. they're not in the freezers. They're in an island between the freezers where underneath there is frozen chicken nuggets and french fries and shit. And above that, breading. And the breading is above things that are already breaded. Like frozen french fries and chicken wings and shit. Why?
I guess
why is there?
I guess they think because of the things that are fried, they're like, these are similar.
Why is there
this is
three
like the before.
Different places with sausage? Why?
I'm befuddled.
3.
I'm befuddled.
It's 3. Why is it
nothing?
3? Put it one place. One place. They're usually in the section with deli meat and bacon and shit. And then there's another actual meat section that also has other sausages and like pork butts. And then often there'll be, that other random frozen section that also has turkeys and shit. And then, well, we'll throw some sausages in there too.
But it's a different kind of sausage, though.
Well, this one's chicken meatball.
Yeah.
This one's chicken meatball
That's
sausage.
the stuff that's shaped like sausage.
Yeah, well.
But it's not sausage.
It's not sausage. But that's also in the deli meat section sometimes.
But then it's like salami sausage.
Salame.
Anyway, I'm in the Home Depot.
Uh-huh.
I got a faucet.
Yes, as you do.
Well, I got a faucet hose.
Okay.
That decided to always run.
Yes.
So when you turn the water on, it just goes, and it gives you a good one.
Yeah.
All right? It's hilarious.
It's great.
All right? But we're sick of it,
Yeah, of course.
And we used a condom to fix it for the time being. Because
that works.
Got to plug it up.
Yeah.
All right?
Otherwise, you're going to get mold.
Stopped it from working altogether, which is what we needed because you got to create, some kind of vacuum seal. Some kind of pressure seal. Not a vacuum seal, all right?
Condom.
Hey, it's
fine. That's not a bad idea.
Ingenuity.
It's using what you have.
So you go to Home Depot.
I mean, you certainly don't have a balloon about.
I carry around the nozzle with me so I can find the same right one.
Yeah.
They only sell sets. They don't sell just the nozzle.
Correct.
And then they sell a nozzle, but it's not the one you're looking for because it's all other kinds, and they're like the cheapest replacement nozzles. You don't like the way they look, and I don't fucking want them. So I'm like, well, don't we have like a...
You could probably find just the nozzle online, but then you got to wait.
Right. I didn't want to wait.
Yeah.
I thought I could solve this in the morning.
Yeah, I know.
So when I was asking for stuff, I asked some lady walking by, and then she goes, "Let me get the plumbing aisle supervisor." And you're like, "Oh, cool, somebody who knows what they're doing." And then
No, he doesn't.
this fucking lazy asshole just waddles into the aisle, and he's like, "Let me show you where the nozzles are." And he drags you, and you're like, "Okay." And you follow him along, and he goes, "Here's where the nozzles are." And you're like, "Cool." But you like, maybe you got the part that goes in the nozzle, so I can just
What about
replace
this
this one because I don't see this one on the wall. And he says, "Well, we don't sell any rubber washers that'll fit the inside of that."
What the fuck are you here for then?
What the fuck are you here for then? Well, there's this old guy stocking the shelf. Old man stocking the shelf, and we got this young guy who doesn't give a shit. And the older guy's listening, but he also doesn't give a shit. And you can like hear that. You like can see that happening. So the guy says, "Oh, the best." He's like, he tells me the rubber washers thing, and like it's not even what I need, by the way, which is fucking stupid. But I don't realize that. I just think that I got to solve this with a rubber washer. Because, sometimes you think... Right, exactly. Well, my brain lied to itself.
Yeah.
See, I just was very confident that I knew the solution.
Of course.
I don't know the solution to this situation. And I'm mad for basically no reason in the long run. However, you sell a washer. They sell a washer that fits in this nozzle.
Of course they do.
Yeah.
I know
So the guy walks away, and I sit there frustrated, just looking off into nothing, and I see the old man stocking the shelves of washers. And that
would fit the nozzle.
And I just have an outburst, and I just said, "What's that guy saying? You guys don't have washers that won't fit the inside of this nozzle. You sell garden hoses. So you sell washers that go in garden hoses, do you not?" And the guy says,
"Yeah."
"Yeah." And I said, and he goes, "Here's some right here." And he just shows me garden hose and washers right behind him. And I was just like, I'll just make one of these smaller and have it fit. It'll be no big deal. Yeah, and then I did that, and then I found out that I was an idiot.
Yeah, of course.
And I had to buy a stupid fucking nozzle, and I still need to, in fact. No. So then I I just have to deal with the fact that I don't have the hose. Which, like, you don't even really need the hose anyways, but that's
you don't.
That's not the point.
That's not the point. I want it to work right.
The point
I
is,
don't want a condom nozzle.
The point is, you go to Home Depot and you talk to 3 different people, and none of them knew how to help me.
Yeah.
So even when you do ask people to help you at the store, it turns out that it's a waste of your time.
Home Depot's
so you're
another
right
place
not
I
to
don't
ask.
Yeah, Home Depot's I don't ask either.
Why not?
I don't know.
Where's the thing?
Because I'll just walk around and I'll find it.
This store is huge. Where is the thing?
Yeah.
Oh, we'll look it up. Here it is. Okay, cool. I'll go and try and find it in that place, even though that's probably not where it is.
I just pull out my cell phone if it works,
Which they don't.
Which usually, if you're in a big enough Home Depot or Walmart or blah, blah, don't work.
I think they put blockers in those stores.
No, I think they do it on purpose. It's on purpose, so you have to ask somebody. But sometimes it'll work, and you'll be like, oh, aisle 7, blah, blah, blah. Whatever. Go in there. And then you go there, and you're just like, oh. I was looking for, recently, one of my light fixtures in the basement fucked off. Just said, we're not working anymore. Actually, it did the opposite. It said, we're only working from now on. And I couldn't turn it off. So I turned on the light, and it would no longer come off.
Okay.
And just like pulling that fucking chain, just like nope. Okay, I guess jackpot for me every fucking time. So turn off the breaker, wait for the light to cool down, unscrew it, and then take it out of the fucking wall, or the ceiling. And it's just one of those white ceramic things with just the loose bulb.
Yeah, I think there's a few of them down here.
Yeah, I mean, I can see them.
A couple of danglers.
You can't, but I can see them. But yeah, it's just the white ceramic fucking thing that you put in the loose bulb, and it's got the pull chain.
Uh-huh.
So I'm just like, yeah, I'll go to Home Depot and replace it. I'm sure they're like $2, right?
Yeah.
Which, I mean, they are. There's nothing wrong with the price. But I go to the light bulb section. I don't see it. Then I go to the light fixture section. Well, it's not there either.
Nope.
So then I just go up and down the aisles of the light fixture section for about 20 minutes because I'm thinking I must be missing it. I start to see things that are close. You know what I mean? Like close to the thing I want, but not the thing I want. And obviously they're not displaying this light fixture because it's not a light fixture that you want displayed in your pretty, steampunky blue, fucking fun cage lights and all that fun stuff. So I'm just like, where the fuck is this thing? Like, I end up asking somebody. They're like, I don't know, it should be around here. Okay, cool. So I keep walking, keep looking. I'm like, no, that's kind of what I want, but it's for recessed lighting. That's not what I'm looking for. Let's go around here. Nope, okay. Finally get my phone to work, look it up, and it says this aisle like an aisle that's not either the light bulbs or the light fixtures. It is the light switch aisle, which is different. The light switch and outlets and all that. You know what I mean? So, where you're going to get your switchies and your fucking pluggies and your GFCIs, blah, blah, blah. So I go there. I'm like, okay, it's supposed to be in this aisle. Walk up and down the aisle. I don't see it. Walk up and down the aisle. I don't see it. But it takes me another 10 minutes just to realize it is 3 up. They'll have the big bay, and then they'll have a couple top shelves that you can't reach. And it's like 3 up. And there's a million of them, but they're just in white boxes that you can't see. Like, it's just white box. I was very lucky that somebody left one of those big ass fucking step ladders, the big orange ones, and I just literally picked it up and moved it, and yeah, that'll do. Like,
Is that 30 minutes you spent trying to find this thing?
Easy, if not longer.
Jesus.
If not longer. I was so mad. But, fucking replace the thing, whatever. But it sucked. And yeah, it was like, and I'm looking for a thing that's literally like $2 or $3. Sucks. I hate it.
Do you think that if you had asked somebody, it would have gone faster?
I did ask one person. They said it should be around here.
That sounds about the level of help you would get.
At your Home Depots. That's why I don't ask.
All right.
So I don't ask at Home Depot. I don't
So you
ask
have
at the
low
grocery
expectations.
store. Yes, and fuck you.
I have high expectations.
Well, we're both wrong. Anyway.
Holy shit.
So, I need to ask you something.
Okay, ask it.
How do you feel about M. Night Shyamalan?
Shyamalan ding dong.
Shyamalan.
You know what? I actually liked. I know you're not supposed to like it, but when I saw it, I liked
The Village?
Signs.
Oh, no.
These movies are not rewatchable.
Correct.
Except for to revisit them for like this odd nostalgia of M. Night Shyamalan.
The Happening is rewatchable.
Haven't seen it.
That's one of the best unintentional comedies I've ever seen.
Oh wait, he also made Glass.
Yes.
And
correct.
What's that movie with Bruce Willis where he's like a hero?
Unbreakable.
Unbreakable.
Which Glass is a...
Yeah, those are 3.
Yeah.
It's like a 3-series movie or something.
Yeah.
And apparently, like the Glass was the last one, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like, and then there's that
The James McAvoy one.
James McAvoy movie, which is I forget what that's called, but I don't know
But
if
it's
that's
got
M. Night
split
Shyamalan.
personalities. It is.
It is?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Because it also
Those
ties
movies-
into Unbreakable.
Yeah.
But that was the twist, is the fact that movie tied into
Yeah.
Unbreakable.
And then Glass, either depending upon what kind of outlook you have on life, Glass either makes it all amazing or makes it the worst thing you've ever seen in your life.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and there's definitely some problems with it for sure. There's like this whole section in Glass where they set up these things to like prevent James McAvoy's character from being able to, I guess, get close to the door.
Yeah.
Well, it's as simple as that. They're like, oh, he set up
Yeah.
these giant black box things that they set off an emitter that makes it so that he won't be able to get to the door there.
So he can't leave.
But then if you look at the way that things are oriented, you just go, well, why the fuck would that work though?
Yeah, but why would
The orientation of the setup, what is it, like something to do with lights? Somebody who's seen it knows exactly what I'm talking about. And they'll just be like,
I haven't seen it. So
what?
I don't know.
Like, yeah, no, it's like a huge hole in how it is that they keep him in the room that he's
Which is
locked
probably
in.
how he escapes, right?
No, it's not.
Oh,
It's
that's
unrelated.
Oh, fuck.
He gets let out later by somebody. I think. I'm pretty sure he gets let go. Anyway, so what about M. Night Shyamalan?
Well, I will preface that. You said you've never seen The Happening. I would say watch The Happening because that's the one where it's Mr. Wahlberg.
Mark
Marky
Wahlberg.
Wait, Mark Wahlberg.
Is that when he like digs a hole in a basement trying to find something?
Don't
He gets
remember that
obsessed?
scene. It's no.
Okay.
This is the
That's a
movie
different
where
movie.
the plants kill people.
Okay, I
And
haven't seen it.
So it's called The Happening, and literally plants start emitting some kind of like pheromones, the wrong word, but you know what I mean. They just like something starts happening, and if the wind blows through a bunch of plants and touches you, you immediately kill yourself.
Ooh.
Yeah, and it's fucking hilarious. Like there's literally scenes where they're in a field running away from the wind coming towards them. Like you don't understand. It's,
makes you think about-
insane.
It makes me think of that episode of South Park, where it's like the day before the day after tomorrow.
Yeah, the day before
And-
the day after.
and they're
It's
like,
today.
"It's global warming!"
Yeah,
It's
coming.
The one guy gets cramped. Well, he just falls down, and then and you get the scene where he gets enveloped by global warming in the streets.
It's very similar, except they're jumping under like lawnmowers and shit. But there's just there's a small point. It shows you how bad Mark Wahlberg can be as an actor, because there's just a small point where like they end up in this house with this old woman who is fucking insane and crazy and tries to kill them at one point. But she like accuses Mark Wahlberg of something. He goes, "Ma'am, no, no." Like, because she's like, you're listening, you're stealing stuff, ma'am. No. And it's one of the funniest fucking things I've ever seen. It's so good. But yeah, that's a very unintentionally great / bad movie. But anyway, yeah, M. Night Shyamalan, he does his Sixth Senses. He does his Unbreakables. He does his Devil.
He dives back. I don't know if Devil was
Lady
supposed
in the
to be
Water.
Good. Wasn't
I
Devil
didn't watch
supposed
it.
to be bad?
I don't know.
That's the one in the elevator.
Yeah.
I heard that
and I
there
don't
was
even know that he made it.
pile of shit.
I don't know. I didn't see it. Doesn't matter.
Okay.
Because I stopped watching M. Night Shyamalan movies. It's like, I feel like if you watched The Village before you saw The Sixth Sense, you probably liked it.
Yeah.
That's about it. I did enjoy Signs the first time I saw it, but it's bad on rewatches. There is the one scene where Joaquin Phoenix is like watching the TV and the alien walks by for 2 seconds on the TV and he fucking jumps into the closet. I like that. But it's a dumbass movie. Water kills aliens?
Yeah,
What is this? There's a great theory.
There's water everywhere.
There's
if
a great,
they were touching plants, they would have died.
Yeah.
They can't be in the cornfield.
There's a great theory that I saw online where they basically say that they're actually not aliens, they're demons, and that's why the water hurts them, because the main character was a priest. So, you know what I mean? Like, so it's just like they're blessed. Anyway, like, that's a whole other
I think the part where the
fucking
fingers
thing.
get chopped off underneath the door.
Yeah.
I thought that was cool.
Yeah, it's cool.
I remember that.
Yeah.
And then I liked all the other bits, like how they were trying to make it work, I guess.
Yeah.
Like, I like it in theory, I guess.
Yeah, correct.
I like the movie as a thriller in theory.
And the idea of the movie. However,
I recognize that it doesn't really work.
I saw a trailer for the new M. Night Shyamalan movie. Now, every time there's a new M. Night Shyamalan movie,
they wait till the end to say that he was the one who was the director.
well, yes,
They don't tell you at the beginning of the theater, because they have to show you that he did it at the end, so that you get, because it's also got, it has its own like impact now.
Yeah.
Because his cliche is that he's just like gonna make, there's gonna be a twist. Or that was how it was for a
and
minute.
then he stopped, and
They
then
might have
the
gotten
twist
away
is that
from
there
that.
isn't a twist.
Yeah, now.
Which actually is kind of funny.
Yeah.
But
well, how else are you supposed to grow as a director?
that does happen. But I just mean every time there's a new M. Night Shyamalan movie, you will hear people say, I heard it's a return to form.
What does that even mean?
It's the same thing of like, Metallica's coming out with a new record. I hear they're going back to the old shit.
Oh, Death Magnetic?
Exactly. It's like, it's everything that some people considered good at one point when they do something new. I hear they're going back to being good again.
Oh.
Did you hear about that?
I think that if you try to be good based off of a track record of being good, you're most likely destined to fail.
Definitely. Because I've never seen it not fail.
Yeah.
But
well, that means that you're copying yourself, which means that you're not, I don't know.
You're not doing anything
It's not very
interesting.
innovative,
Yeah.
so what's the point?
It's like when somebody tells you something is subversive, but it's like, it's not subversive. They just did the opposite of what I expected, which is also what you're expecting. Subversive would be something I don't see coming, right?
I would think so.
Yeah. Anyway. So I saw this new trailer. And, of course, didn't know it was an M. Night Shyamalan, but I could have fucking guessed. Because it's great and awful. Because it's just these people on a beach. And they're just, like, hanging out. Like the beginning of Jurassic Park, The Lost World. People on a beach. And then they get eaten by little tiny dinosaurs. But so it looks like that. They're just on this nice, beautiful beach. And then they start saying some shit. They're having fun. Oh, the kids ran away. Oh, remember, kids, come back. And then the kids walk around like a boulder. No, that doesn't happen yet. What happens is they see a dead body. They find a dead body on the beach. And then they cover it up with something. And they're like, weird. And then somehow it gets uncovered. And now it's like bones. It's no longer a dead body. It's like an old, desiccated thing. And they're like, "Wah!" And then you see a scene where these two young, like 6-year-olds run away, and they go they run away, and then they come back behind a boulder, but they're 20. They're 20 years old. Like, they're just like, and they're like, Mom, like, blah, blah. And it's like, oh. And then, like, a couple things happen, and then one of what I assume to be the main characters, the mother of the 2 children who are now 20, literally says to whoever she's talking to, a.k.a. the camera, those kids are 20 years old. They used to be 6 earlier today. There's something going on here. And I started howling. No fucking shit. Do you need to say those words? What are you talking about? If your children 9 minutes ago were 6 to 8 years old and they're now 20, guess what? Everybody else who experienced that doesn't need you to say there's something going on here. That's fucking obvious.
What kind of lines are those?
In what world, Klag? In what M. Night Shyamalan world does anyone need to say, there's something going on here? You say that if you just like, oh, the ashtray is missing and half of my beer is gone. There's something weird going on here. Like, so it goes through a couple other things, and then it just says, it goes to black, M. Night Shyamalan. Like, black and red is his name.
Yeah.
And then old.
Is it the name of the movie?
Close. Name movie's Old.
Cool.
So then I was trying to talk to somebody about it. And because they had seen it too. And it's like, what's that fucking dumbass thing? M. Night Shyamalan. Was it Old Beach? And then they were just like, I think it's just called Old. And then I started howling at myself. Because I now want a movie just called Old Beach.
Why?
Because it's fucking funny.
To
and
you.
I wish this movie was called Old Beach. Like,
For no reason. You just want a movie that's based on a beach.
well,
So you can call it Old Beach.
It's just like, because it's about a beach and the movie's called Old, which is also a dumbass name.
you think it should
just
be called
call
Old
it
Beach?
Old Beach, and I'm calling it Old Beach from now on. M. Night Shyamalan, Academy Award winner and director of the movie Old Beach.
Only thing that I remember about M. Night Shyamalan as of now, aside from the movies that he made, was being in a theater while trailers were running before a movie that I actually wanted to see, and it was a pretty full crowd. This was like 2010 maybe. And a movie is whatever movie it was, the trailer's going, and at the end of it goes, M. Night Shyamalan, and the whole theater erupted with boo! Oh, lame!
No!
Nobody wanted to see it.
So funny.
Because everybody at that point understood that anything he was making was just going to be
bad.
different than it was going to present itself as one thing, and then it was suddenly going to be something else.
Again.
So you're like, why watch it?
Which is
Why follow through the whole thing if you know at the end it's just going to be suddenly different?
a twist is not craft.
No.
A twist can be very cool.
Yes.
Of course it can. But it is not something to hang your hat on.
Speaking of 6-year-olds.
Before you say that,
You can't stop me there. I have to
I'm
get
going to
away
say
from
it because I just want to say one thing, and that is only, what is the time you have laughed the most in a movie theater? Like,
Django Unchained.
that's amazing. That's amazing.
Because I watched it in Virginia,
Oh, no.
and we were the only white people in that crowd.
I bet it was great. I bet it was transcendent.
It was
even.
the only way to watch that movie in a theater. Because it changed dude, that movie was so funny. Everything. It was endless howling laughter throughout that whole movie.
I bet.
Even when Jamie Foxx is hung upside down and his fucking like dick's hanging out, it was just like people just like just laughing hardcore at this movie.
That's amazing.
Yeah, there was nobody felt any kind of weird about it. It was
That's
just
great.
like this movie's awesome.
That feels like a beautiful moment.
When at the end, when there's like, he's like, you ever heard a kneecap, and he blows out, he blows out his knees. It's just like cheers and howling laughter the whole time.
Hell
that was
yeah.
amazing.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's the best.
Yeah.
What
great.
about you?
Jackass 2.
Oh Jesus!
I only remember
At the peak time of it in a theater, I guess I can believe.
Well,
it.
yeah, that's what I mean. And the reason that I wanted to say that is because That's by no means the funniest movie I've ever seen. I would never say Jackass 2 is the funniest movie I've ever
Which
seen.
is the most fun you had in the theater.
It's the only time I've literally kicked the seat in front of me multiple times because of my reactions. And I can't explain it. Again, it's just one of those times in those moments, and I'm watching Jackass 2, and I'm a shitty fucking teenager, and it was fucking great. And I literally had to apologize to the person in front of me a few times. Like, that's how insane it was. So, talking about being children.
Yeah. So over the weekend I went on vacation, Memorial Day weekend, and at the place that we stayed at, there was a family, and they had a young boy. He was 6 years old. And,
a young boy.
And I've got cousins who have children. I have seen their kids. I have been around different kids and
You was
seen
one.
their behavior.
You was
Yeah,
one?
I was one, but you don't know what your behavior is when you
Oh, I
are
do.
a kid. You don't really know.
Yes,
Okay.
but I can look back.
This kid was hilarious, but also fucking rude. So rude.
Yes.
He
All children are rude.
You walk into this. You walk
Rude.
into a room with this kid, and he just goes, "I'm gonna call you knobhead." And you're like, "Why?" And he goes, "Because your head looks like a door." And you're just like, "No," but that's like what he did.
Does.
That's
No,
what
I'm
he
kidding.
did like the whole weekend.
No, of course. And
Was every time he saw you, he'd call you. He would just say some, but like
and he would just make something up on the spot.
what I want. Yeah, and it would just be. He was like really bad at. He wasn't very creative, right?
Yeah,
he
but
would
that's
just say.
better. But that's better.
Well, it's what made it kind of funny.
Yeah.
But he would like curse. He would like curse all the. He would say like all the curse words, and he was obviously he's not very good at cursing. He would just start saying them like it won't, like we were like getting ready for dinner.
I'm gonna call you Jacob Hands.
He told me he was gonna call me.
Hands.
He said he was gonna call me J Cum over and over again, and he just kept and he did, and he just kept calling me that. And I said
Nobody told him. Not
and
to.
when he said that, I said, "Oh well, that's a lot better than I got in high school. So thanks."
Yeah.
I guess.
Cool.
It just carried on. Like I would just give him no reaction, that sort of a thing. But like we were getting
Like you're dealing with a bully.
we were waiting for food to be ready. And like what he was basically he was kind of being a bully. He was,
of course.
but it was hilarious. But he let's see, he would find the one that would make it. He would find the thing that he was saying that would make it so the most amount of people would tell him not to say it.
Of course.
And then
That's
he
the
would
game.
only say it.
Yeah.
So like we were getting ready for dinner, and he just started saying dick dog over and over again.
Dick dog.
Dick dog. Dick dog.
Dick dog.
Dick dog. Dick dog. Dick dog. Dick dog.
Dick dog. Dick dog. Dick
And
dog.
there was
Cock and balls.
later on he was just like he just started saying fuck and jumping. So he was just like jumping up and down. He's like fuck, fuckity fuck, fuck, fuckity fuck. It was a good time. And I said, hey, you gotten a little R-rated now. I think maybe we need to like lay off.
Chill it off. Like
You know.
come down to shit.
Like even I was
Bring it
like,
down
I
to
liked
shit.
it better earlier when
Yeah.
you were saying the word shit. Now that you got to fuck,
Make me a little
take it or
uncomfortable.
leave it. But it's like
Cops could put me away for this.
the kids are fucking wild.
Kids are
I don't know.
dumb
You
as
ever
hell.
you ever be put in charge of kids just because you're married?
Not
I would think that you just get
anywhere near
immediately
because-
trusted.
Not
with
anywhere near
kids.
because I'm married.
Okay.
No, there's been no situation where it's just like, oh, you're married, you're watching this shitty kid. But I have definitely been around many a shitty kid,
Uh-huh.
and had to be like, all right, calm down. My problem is like I'm always the one that now I'm best friend.
Your best friend.
Like now I'm best
Oh
friend.
yeah. Because they
And
end up
then-
like latching onto you because
Yeah.
you're kind of different, and
Yeah.
then like you're not being authoritative. So
Yeah.
they're like, oh,
So
that's
all of
cool.
a sudden, this is the coolest person I've ever met, and then you just gotta be like, I just want to go. Hey, stop holding my arm. Shut up. It's just like I already did this thing with
Are
you.
you my new dad?
No,
No, never.
I won't ever be. I don't hate you. I don't hate you. But seriously, stop reading Diary of a Wimpy Kid. That's not going to help you.
Oh.
I'm telling you.
I
it's
can't
not
imagine
gonna
that would help anybody.
No, it's not going to help you. It's just going to make you feel worse. You're probably going to commit suicide.
Oh no! So
when
the
you're
title,
17.
the title's not the least bit uplifting.
No, it isn't.
Diary of a Wimpy Kid.
But I know the mindset of a child would see that and be like, "Oh, that's me," and I relate. because I'm a wimpy kid.
Uh-huh.
If you already feel that way, I understand, and I'm not saying, it's all bad, but like, and it's like I also don't want to be the person that's just like, don't, be man, kid, but also like, don't like try to be wimpy. It's like, how I don't think many older generations than us will understand this, but I feel like from at least our generation, probably from X down, it was cool to be different.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Where before that, not so much. You know what I mean? And I could be wrong. I'm not a part, but by and large, once you have Nirvana, it's cool to be different. It's cool to be the weird kid, the weird blah, blah, blah. So it's cool to have tics or like, little things about you. Like the radio can only be on even numbers. You know what I mean? Like, or, it's just like.
Are those things considered cool?
I think so. Not I think so as in I think they are cool to me. But I think they were considered cool.
All right.
And I don't even mean that people considered them cool. What I mean is people considered themselves to be cool for having these differences.
Well, wasn't that just being quirky?
Yes,
like
that's exactly
why Zooey Deschanel was so popular for,
for
being a quirky lady
the
who
Manic
likes
Pixie
to wear
Dream
flats.
Girl thing. Flats are fine. That's not the point.
Flats
And
are
you can be
not
quirky.
fine.
Flats are fucking fine.
Flats aren't fine.
Jacob, I'm here
Flats
to say.
in a skirt. They're
Flats
not
aren't
fine.
That's perfectly fine. There's
No, it's
nothing
not.
wrong with that.
No,
There's
one inch heel.
You're not allowed to say that anymore.
Yes, I am.
The point is,
Uh-huh.
I feel like people started to, and you can certainly see this in the internet era. Like, oh, I'm weird too. Like, and this is what I do. And this is blah, blah. And 99% of people are just fucking lying. You know what I mean? You don't have insomnia. You asshole. You just stay up late.
You do nothing
There's
to make it so you're tired.
Yeah, there's a difference. You don't have OCD. You just like the look of a clean cabinet. There's a difference.
Yeah.
You don't have.
I like the look of a clean cabinet.
Yes, that doesn't mean you have OCD. You know what I mean?
No, it just means they're gonna get annoyed with you when you don't give a fuck about the things that I
Correct.
give a fuck about.
Yes, that's what I mean.
I'm allowed to feel that way.
Yeah,
and I'm not gonna converse with you with Post-it notes either, just so we don't have to have confrontations.
The point is, again, I feel like at least Generation X and below, you then get a whole bunch of people pretending that they're lactose intolerant.
But we're millennials. Aren't we millennials?
Yes, that's why I said X and below.
Okay, so
X
talking
is above
from
us.
I got you.
But I don't. Again, I could be
Pretending
wrong.
that they're lactose
but I don't
intolerant.
think. Obviously, I'm just throwing out examples.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
It's just like
it's funny because you say that because like I am not diagnosed lactose intolerant, but I live my life as if I'm lactose intolerant.
Again,
because when I drink milk products or eat cheese or things like that, I don't feel good about myself.
Yeah. And that's perfectly
internally,
valid.
like inside, like my body feels funny. So I haven't been to a doctor, and they didn't give me a note that I can show you right now to say that I'm lactose intolerant.
And that's perfectly valid. I'm not.
Is
saying,
it?
Yeah, yes, that's perfectly valid.
Well, under the guise of the conversation we were having just now, you were saying that I'm a lying liar from Liartown.
I'm not saying you're a lying liar from Liartown.
All right, fine.
What I'm saying is most people are lying liars from Liartown.
All right.
And because it's just like, and it also, you're an asshole to say this, but I specifically bring up the radio can't be on odd numbers. Yeah. Because that was something my brother decided one day was going to be one of his quirks.
And
I just mean there was just a day where he decided I'm going to pretend to be upset if this, because that gives me, because again, when you're a kid, you don't have a personality, you don't have an identity, you got to create one.
That's true.
Yeah. And what do we do but just decide this is what I am now?
I did some pretty embarrassing shit for that.
Of course, yeah.
I thought
we
that
all did.
I thought that I liked cars, which I do like cars, but I thought that I really liked cars.
No, you
and I thought that I liked them enough to be like an encyclopedia on cars.
And you definitely don't.
And I was definitely not an encyclopedia on cars, and everybody noticed, but only my closest of friends were able to tell me for sure. Jacob, shut the fuck up! You don't know anything about cars.
Exactly.
And I was like, I feel bad now.
That's all we need.
Because I noticed because I read the label. I remember very specifically, I read the label on a car's like front bumper while it was in a movie, and I just went, huh. one of those. And then everybody in the room, my older brother and my friend, both told me to shut the fuck up because I apparently had been doing it.
Mitsubishi
Yeah. No, it was a truck that just said GMC on the front. I was like,
oh, it's a GMC.
And I just went, oh, no, I'm not even kidding. I just said, oh, a GMC. And they just said, shut the fuck up.
Yeah,
and they were right.
They were right. They were right to do so. I'm not saying we should bully people. And
but you should bully people.
Sometimes
you should bully people.
Builds character.
It does. It does.
Awful to say.
The right kind.
The right kind.
No, like that's the gray area of bullying, isn't it?
It is.
No, because it's I was bullied. Like everybody was fucking bullied. Like
literally everyone.
Like the people that like. If you went to your high school reunion, probably the person doing the best,
the
like,
most popular
who was
person
always
will
doing,
say they were bullied.
They fucking won.
Yeah. Yes.
Taking it away from every other last little person.
Yep.
And because it still allows them to be on some level above.
My friends made fun of me because my spray tan looked fake.
Oh, the spray tan you could afford. Oh. Meanwhile, my friend was eating fucking bologna sandwiches his dad could hardly afford because his dad fucking spends it all on Mountain Dew and all the bullshit that you can get in World of Warcraft because he's addicted to video games after his wife died of some random ass cancer they couldn't fix.
Legend.
Yeah. And he's like, and he comes over to my house so he can eat because he never has any fucking food, and he gets bullied for having the one long coat that he has. And it's like, oh no,
one he's got.
But him getting called Blade every single day for wearing his long fucking trench coat. I mean, he should have taken it as a compliment, to be honest, but he didn't like it.
Yeah.
That's because he was sensitive.
Yeah.
The fact is, that's on the same level as that.
Yeah,
those are the same. Those are the same people and the same experience.
It's the same people, same experience. And, to be honest, in some sense, yes. Because, the sense is everything is only as you perceive it.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So.
All right, cool. So that means that when people are psychotically neurotic, then we have to treat that the same way as when somebody's actually being treated poorly.
Of course.
Oh, I get it.
I'm not saying that. Of course not.
You're not saying that?
No, of course not.
Oh, well, you're giving some credence to it.
I wasn't giving credence. I was making fun of it.
Yeah, exactly.
But, I mean, there is a situation where it's just like, everybody's having a tough time. Even the best people out there, they've had a tough time. But we've all had a tough time. You mentioned specifically cars.
Well, that was just me being
No, I know. You mentioned specifically cars.
Yeah.
I did the opposite. I knew not a damn thing about cars and didn't pretend to. And... and I had many friends who knew all about cars. So something would go by, oh, that's a blah, 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 blah. And I'd just be like...
And?
I'd just look around. They'd be like, what, you don't know blah, 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 blah? And I'd be, I never had a father! And the best part of that is everybody's face would drop. And oh, my God. And I would come back and be like, no, I'm just kidding. Not about the father. I didn't have one. I'm kidding that it's a problem. And then face would drop again. It was so good. It was so good. And that's the thing. I wasn't even doing it to be mean. I just thought it was funny. It was funny, and it diverted the attention away from the fact I didn't know shit about cars and didn't want to. Fuck cars. I don't give a shit. I want it to drive me somewhere. It either looks nice or it don't. Do it drive? Cool.
Yeah.
I don't know a damn thing about cars.
It was,
I don't want to know. Don't talk to me about cars.
Do you have any phobias?
No.
Oh, well, there we go.
Yep,
okay,
done.
So.
But, no, that is interesting. Like, I truly would not consider that I have any phobias.
Okay.
Like, that doesn't, and, I've said that to people before because for some reason having a phobia, again, something that makes you weird and interesting.
I guess you would think that you would have had one. Just for the sake of being like, oh, I got a phobia. I imagine that some people probably had some fake phobias. Like
of course, that's kind of what I mean.
Overblowing a weirdness.
Yes, but that's what I mean when I've told people in the past I don't have any. They'll be like, "What? So you're not afraid of anything?" I'm like, "No, I'm afraid of everything. I'm just not irrationally afraid of something. Am I afraid of heights? Yeah, if I'm next to something I can fall off of that will kill me. I'm not afraid of heights if I'm just up somewhere high." You know what I mean? Like, am I afraid of spiders? Yeah, if they can kill me. I'm not just afraid of a spider if I see it around.
Sure.
All that bullshit.
I had one that was like a real
phobia.
A real phobia, and this is a really, and I don't know what the name for it is. It's really stupid. But it's tied to a specific story I did have, and I don't really feel that way anymore, but I'm still grossed out by it, a phobia of both stickers and bandaids because they adhere to your body. And I just fucking hated it. There's just the idea of,
no issues here.
if I got a cut, I won't put a bandaid on it.
Weird.
Unless it's like deep enough and I go, okay,
And
now
you're bleeding on
like
something.
nowadays I will because I use my hands. Well, you could do that, right? But I'm just saying, like, it was a thing for me. Like those little dot band-aids gross me out. Like, ew.
Yeah, where it's just like the little thing.
Ew.
Like at that point, you probably don't need a band-aid.
Ew.
Number one.
Right.
I mean, they are gross.
Yeah, they're fucking nasty. They're
Especially
immediately
when
a
you
biohazard.
find them in the swimming
They're
pool.
immediately a biohazard. When I was a janitor, at Planet Fitness,
I don't even want you to talk about
I would find just fucking band-aids everywhere. Just be like, oh, you just left that behind? Like I felt like it was like every single
person. It fell into the treadmill. It's been going for all day.
Every person who ever dropped behind a Band-Aid should just, I hope they get AIDS. That's what I hope happens to people who just ignored their Band-Aid because they put a biohazard amongst other people, so I hope that a biohazard comes amongst them. All right, but that aside, for all the times I had to pick up some nasty-ass fucking garbage from humans, I was very afraid of stickers, just like stickers in school. There's like a star or any of those things, or like colorful. I don't know. It looks like a disease. It looks fucking gross. It drives me nuts. I don't know why. It just does. I don't want it on me.
Sticker.
I don't want it touching me. It's like at least if you had one like on you, like with a Band-Aid, at least behind that like black residue.
Yeah, like that.
Get it out of here. I don't want it. What are you doing putting a fucking 100 plus on my paper? Get it out of here. You ruined my paper. It's disgusting now. You know why? And here's why. Because when I was in kindergarten, I had a tick. There was like a tick that crawled onto my crotch. Okay, and the kindergarten teacher had me pull my pants down, and she used a sticker to grab the tick with it, and then pulled it off of my my private area. Yeah,
Johnson.
Yeah, and I didn't know that, but like my mom told me that story. She told me that's like what she was told happened that day or something like that. So I don't even have like a memory of this thing happening.
It's just deep within you.
Yeah, and it's all I ever knew was like I fucking think those things are gross. So like it's an odd bit to be like, oh, so there is. So you know what? I actually understand forgotten trauma. So you just be like, oh, I don't know that happened. Only people told me that, and I know that I remember the part where I don't like those things.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, stickers are gross.
They are fucking gross.
And Band-Aids are even worse.
Yeah, those are gross on a different level, but just like the idea, just like, oh, I got a sticker. Let me wear that. Ew. You gave me a hello, I'm so and so label on my chest. No, I'm not attending your function.
I mean, I don't want you to know my name anyway. But
no, but stick that on your chest. Not doing it. Well, why not? They're gross.
I'm gonna do it,
but do it. Why won't you just do it? Because. But maybe you should. Nope.
Keep it on the piece of paper. I'll clip a lanyard.
That's the only one that I had. I used to have like plenty of anxiety, I guess.
Well, I was going to say these aren't phobias.
That's a phobia.
Yes, these aren't phobias. Is a phobia. No. These aren't phobias, but I used to, and still do, to be honest, have these weird sensations that I couldn't get out of my head. So this probably again falls into being like neurotic.
Sure.
But I don't. It's hard to explain. So like, do you remember desks as a kid?
Not a one.
No. Not a single
yes, of course. Go.
But you know how, like, especially the plastic and metal ones, where it was like plastic
in school.
Yeah, especially because they
the particle
had
board top and then the metal legs and all
it
that.
Would flip up or whatever.
Yes.
But the back of those was this small little piece that would just basically fit like in the middle of your back. Like it wasn't like you're laying into it. It was just something to hold you there. I was always afraid it was going to get under my shoulder blades. And I knew that couldn't happen. But when I sat in those chairs, I could then start to feel the sensation of it slowly growing under my shoulder blades.
Yeah.
And I would just start to fucking, I don't like that. And it would fucking consume me. Like, and it still
You
happens.
couldn't focus in class because
Well,
of it?
I mean, it wasn't that bad, but it was still just like something I couldn't not think about is that back of the chair getting in between my flesh and under my shoulder blades. And I was just like, I don't want it to rip my shoulder blades out. That's weird. And I would know this is not a real thing that can happen, but it would still, again, all my focus, it would just be that. Like, this happened recently. For some reason, out of nowhere, I just thought, what if I had a paper cut on my eyeball? And I'm just driving, and then all I could do was imagine slicing my eyeball with a piece of paper, and I couldn't stop. And I don't know why. And I just wanted it to stop, and I'm just like, stop thinking about that. I could feel it. I could feel it. It's like, it's the one thing, like, I could watch all your torture porns, all day.
Yeah.
But, like, I don't want to see you just like break somebody's finger. Oh. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like I could watch somebody get stabbed to death, but I don't. But it like makes me squeamish if I see somebody just like.
Was it like like different body parts?
It's not
Are
even.
you affected differently by different body parts when it comes to like that kind of stuff?
Not even. It's just like if it's super over the top. Like, again, like your Saws, that's fine. But then if I'm watching Misery and they fucking smash his ankles out and you're just like, ah!
When they
I think it's just because it feels more real.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, so you can watch it and then imagine the actual pain. Where it's like, I can't imagine the pain of, like, sawing through my leg. But I can imagine the pain of sledgehammering my leg for some weird reason. I don't know what it is. One last thing I'll say about phobias.
Okay.
Do you know the name of the phobia that is the fear of long words?
No, I don't.
Hippopotamonstrosquipedaliophobia. Fuck you. How dare you make the
you
word.
Memorized that just for this fucking conversation.
No, I memorized that in high school at some point.
For phobias, for the discussion of phobias, you memorized that.
In high school, I thought it was funny, and I memorized it, and I just remembered that I remembered it.
That's wonderful.
Hippopotamonstrosquipedaliophobia. I
That's
don't know if
wonderful.
that's how you pronounce it. I just know that's how it's read on a page. And how dare you make the fear of long words be a long word, you motherfucker.
So, over the weekend on that trip, we were playing a game of war.
Why?
Because
it's the worst card game.
I know it was funny, though. It was fun. We were building a puzzle before it.
It's better than war. War, you just do it. There's no anything.
Well, it was fun.
It's like playing Candyland.
While we were playing war,
were you playing with the 6-year-old?
The 6-year-old was in the room.
Okay.
He had some chocolate milk. The father gave out edibles.
Oof.
To everybody.
Oof.
And
wonder why this kid sucks.
and I took it with no thought whatsoever about like what I was just like, all right, fine, yeah, sure. Like, I'm here. I haven't done anything like this in a very, very long time. It's like, all right, fuck it. I'm feeling comfortable in my life.
Yeah.
So I'm willing to explore outside of like staying rigid.
Sure.
And so we take them, and then like the kid knocked over his milk. He spilt his milk, and the dad responded in a way where it was, he was just like, dude, like got really upset about the spilt milk. And the lady that he was with, she cleaned up the milk, and she goes, it's okay. She like calms it down. His reaction's a bit out there.
Up, yeah.
She calms it down and says, accidents happen. And she dabs up the milk, and it's not really too big of a deal. But now the kid can't have any more milk because he's accident prone. He spills the milk.
Yeah, he spills the milk.
Sure,
6.
I guess that's a bit reasonable. All right.
Get him a sippy
And then
cup.
they end up leaving. And it's about this time.
With the kid?
Yeah.
Okay,
They took the kid. They left.
Okay. Oh.
And it's about this time. It's about this time that the edible takes
effect.
It starts to take effect. I don't know what it is that I've taken. I just know that I put a gummy in my mouth.
And
I chewed it up and swallowed. And I haven't done acid since I was like 20 something.
Sure.
But this is pretty much
Edibles are psychoactive.
This was I recognize that. And I knew that going in. I've had some pot butter in like the last 5 years.
Butter.
And I needed to do Tai Chi. It just made me need to do Tai
remember
Chi
you telling me this,
and figure out how it was that like my body would still work so I could drive home because I was the DD and it was not a good thing for me to be the DD, but whatever. All I know is that only about 30 minutes passed. And in total, an hour passed before I was asleep in bed.
Mm-hmm. I thought you were going to say in Slipknot.
No.
Which would have been great.
Only 30 minutes passed.
Until you were in Slipknot, sorry.
But I traveled through lifetimes.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I
exploded.
I
across
became obsessed with water. And
it's amazing.
Kept drinking more and more water. And like every
water poisoning.
Every like 5 minutes, I blank. I would blink. I blunked.
I've been blunked.
I would blink, and suddenly the perception
switched.
Yeah, it was as if like when you go to the eye doctor and you like flip lenses.
Yeah.
As it was taking on more of an effect, and then your body was like giving you feedback to it being more effective.
Yeah.
It was like flipping through lenses and getting to different peripheral visions and different like perceptions of light reflecting off of things. Mm-hmm. So I'm just trying to mitigate the realization. I was like, this has gone way further than I ever expected it to go.
Oh no.
And and there's a suggestion is made that we go for a walk on the beach, but I didn't bring
on the old beach.
Yeah. So we go for a walk on the beach, and it's just the coldest I've ever been. But I just can't stop. I couldn't stop shivering. And I was told that I was told that I was shivering a lot, and it was just like you're not as cold as you think it is. And I was like, I'm
really cold.
Maybe you say that, but I'm pretty sure that this is actually just on the level of dying. And
yes.
then I said, but I'm toughing it out. I'm toughing it out for you.
I don't want to ruin the bus.
I'm not ruining the bus. Yeah, I'm not going to be the one to ruin the bus. I was though. So
of course you were. You're that guy.
Well, no, fuck you. Come on.
Just kidding.
What are you supposed to do? What are you supposed to do?
I know. You just fucking suck it up, kid.
Suck
it up.
I didn't know to bring a coat to the Cape.
Yeah, you always got to bring a coat to the Cape.
I know that now.
You always got to bring a coat to the Cape.
Yeah. All right, look. So we speed on past. We get to the next day. The next day, and, waking up the next day and just being like, what the fuck? What?
How much of the edible did you eat?
It was 200 milligrams.
That's a lot.
That's yeah. It was a 200 milligram edible. I ate the whole thing. It was a little gummy, 200 milligrams. Yeah. It was on. I mean, shit.
You eat an ear.
Yeah. So
a foot.
You're still feeling it the next day.
Yeah,
pretty much.
Yeah,
I mean,
fucked.
It was like the travel. It carries on in your system. All right, but
it doesn't help that you're on vacation either. That almost always makes it worse.
Because I was not because I'm usually very active.
Yeah, and you're also in a place you've never really been before.
But it was comfortable there. It was very comfortable there. I was letting myself be I was letting myself just like let things happen and let time pass and be comfortable and whatnot, instead of like focusing on how many push-ups am I gonna do today? Like shit like that, or like what am I gonna get done around the house? All right. So this next day, the dad of the kid, he wants to go and eat at a restaurant, so we don't make reservations or anything, and it's Memorial Day. The day before Memorial Day. It's Sunday.
It's the day before the day after Memorial Day.
And we go, and you have to park away from the restaurant and then walk to it because there's not enough parking spaces to get to this. It's just the
which
way
also
it's set
means.
Up. And it's
no room in the restaurant.
Raining now.
Yeah.
It's just suddenly raining, and I just told you about how I didn't bring a coat. Nobody has any. Nobody's prepared for rain and walking to a restaurant. So we walk in, and then we walk through the rain, completely soaked by the time that we get there. No, I'm not pushing a little cart, you dick.
Just hoping.
I
get to imagine this however I want. How dare you?
We get in. You find out that there's an hour wait for reservations.
Yeah.
And then we're all just standing around, totally soaked, and we're looking at the person who's brought us here, and they're like, well, maybe we could wait, I don't know. And then they start asking what we would want to do, and you're just finding yourself stuck in this spiral of indecisiveness from all people involved. Like nobody wants to hurt the person who's like trying to do the nice thing, but also the person who's trying to do the nice thing isn't settling up with the realization that maybe they've made a mistake and that we shouldn't do the thing that we're currently trying to do.
Nope.
So then we all finally bail. Walk through the rain. Once I walked through the rain to get to the car, I was like, I'll pick you guys up. I'll pick everybody up. I'll pick you up. Okay?
It's too late for me.
I get the car.
I can save you.
I get the car. I go back. I grab everybody. Everybody ends up traveling back to where we'd been staying. And we're starting to dry off. We're sitting around in the kitchen. The dad comes in, and he's now just going to do a takeout order or whatever. And he sits down. He sits down at the table next to his son. And while the grandparents are there talking, they were like, well, we told you so. We tried to tell you it was probably going to be really packed today and all this other stuff.
Should have called ahead of time.
He said, it's okay. Accidents happen.
Oh.
And I just thought that was such a fucking strong point of cruel irony.
Yeah.
From spilt milk to ruined dinner plans.
Yeah, but the accident you made I'm not saying the kid couldn't have not spilled his milk, but like, you could have just called ahead. That's a different thing. You could have just called ahead. I'm not saying you shouldn't try, but it's Memorial Day weekend, everyone.
So that's all I got for tonight.
That's good.
Yeah.
We should probably wrap it up then.
Okay.
Yeah. I think that's good. I got to leave for camping in the morning.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Well, write us at marklarsmarklarmusic@gmail.com. That's marklarsmarklarmusic@gmail.com. marklarsmarklar music@gmail.com. We are Jacob Klag and Alex O'Connor on the Unboxing podcast. And enjoy your week, everybody.
I'm writing Old Beach. Old Beach.